The following podcast is a deep, shallow dive production.
And you're going to love it.
Okay, let's go.
Rescuers are scrambling to save dozens after a major bridge in Baltimore collapsed when it was struck by a cargo ship. At least a dozen cars plunged into the 47-degree Petopsco River, along with a dozen or so construction workers who were on the bridge at the time. There appeared to be an explosion on the container ship as it collided with the bridge, sending containers and diesel flooding into the water. Rescue services are currently working to save as many people as possible.
I mean, can you even imagine being on that bridge yesterday and then it collapses? Holy mackerel. Anyway, happy Wednesday, everybody. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to start watching the news. You need to wake up, man. If you do not know what I'm talking about, you need to wake up. Seriously. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, that bridge in Baltimore, Maryland, the Francis Scott Bridge, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. And I probably looked at 15, 20 videos from all angles. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. God, everything is weird. You guys are probably like, everything's weird to Ray. But it is. It's weird. I mean, that thing looked like it was like aiming for the bridge pillar. And then the fact that the electricity went out twice, it went out, and then it looked like it came back, and then it looked like it lost power again. That's just odd. There's another crazy coincidence, although I'm not even gonna say anything about this. I'll just mention it. But remember that movie I was talking about, gosh, many episodes ago, Leave the World Behind on Netflix, which is executive produced by the Obamas, and it stars Julia Roberts. Anyway, I kind of netted out that, okay, you know what? Those dots are too easy to connect, so it's probably not anything. But what's interesting is that movie started out with a giant cargo container ship, exactly like the one that hit the bridge yesterday, basically losing control and running ashore in this beachfront in, I think, somewhere in upstate New York or wherever that movie's situated or filmed. But that's kind of wild. I don't know if you guys saw any correlations with that on any of the social media feeds, but that's how that movie started out. And again, this container ship did not run ashore. It ran into the bridge, but oh my God, can you just imagine being in your car on that bridge and then it collapses?
It's stunning what we can see from our vantage point. Police boats, first responder boats that are in the water. Sonar has picked up that there are cars in the water and they're trying to rescue people who could still be inside. You can see chunks of the bridge, the key bridge that tumbled down toward the water, still on the deck of that shipping container.
Just look at that picture. You can see that entire span of the key bridge is in the water. And there you can see Dolly, that huge cargo vessel, just wedged in there right where it has been since about 1:30 a.m. this morning.
By the way, so I've seen one of these cargo ships up close and personal because I did a tour of the Long Beach docks when I was trying to potentially ship some Boost Liquid Vitamins International. And I mean, first of all, these containers are huge. Like a container is like 10 feet by 40 feet. I mean, they're enormous and they're like crazy steel. I mean, just massive, massive things, right? Now imagine like 500 of those, and then imagine the ship that can carry that weight. I mean, they're just massive, absolutely massive. So like that thing at the speed it must have been going, obviously it wasn't just like going 1 mile an hour when it slammed into the bridge. Man, that must have just been such a force. Ugh. Anyway, all right. Well, let's talk about a few more things. I did want to clarify a couple things yesterday, and actually, I had a buddy of mine call me, and he made a very, very, very good point. Two of them, actually. The first thing he told me was he said that England is a monarchy, but Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles, Prince William, they really only hold ceremonial roles, he said. And so they are actually referred to as a constitutional monarchy, but again, they only have figurative power, which we talked about yesterday, but I didn't realize they're officially called a constitutional monarchy. So basically, the royal family's role is largely ceremonial and symbolic. He texted me, which is pretty funny. So anyway, that was a clarification on that. The other piece is that he is actually a doctor, and he did say that it was strange that her medical team was not front and center with the diagnosis or being there to explain things. And as a doctor, he felt that it would have lent a lot more credence, not only credence to the story, he said, but he said it would have made people feel better hearing her diagnosis and even prognosis moving forward and all that from her medical team. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good point. And I went back and listened to what Sanjay Gupta said, and he actually said that same thing. I didn't truly pick up on it when I played the clip yesterday, but he basically also kind of critiqued how it was strange to not have her medical team, chime in either with her during that announcement or actually if you want to say, oh, well, that's personal to her, she needed to deliver that message, that's cool. But you haven't heard anything from her medical team since then either. So anyway, that was a double opinion from my guy. He wants to go nameless, so I will not reveal my source on that, but I thought those were both good points. Man, today is a little bit of catch-up day too. I had some things that I've been meaning to talk about, and I keep forgetting. And one of them was to kind of define Ramadan. I never really did that. I've talked about it a little bit in the aspect of what's going on in Gaza, but we are in the month of Ramadan, and for the Muslim religion, and so people that are partaking in Ramadan, they're basically fasting from dawn until sunset. And that literally is like refraining from eating or drinking anything. It's not like intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, you at least can drink coffee. This is like complete fasting. So I know a lot of people, well, the ones that I know that are doing it, most of them will get up at like 5 or 5:30 in the morning, and they'll have breakfast before sunrise or before the first prayer. And then, they don't eat. Obviously they don't eat, but they don't even drink water or anything all day long until they break their fast. And when they break the fast, it's called iftar, IFTAR. And iftar is the meal served at sunset to break the fast. And normally, and I see this a lot on social media, but it looks like they start off breaking the fast by eating a date. So they eat a date and drink some water, and then they'll have whatever type of meal they have after. But that's pretty hardcore, actually. That takes a lot of discipline to not eat or drink anything from, really like 6:30, maybe 7 in the morning until 7 at night. So a solid 12 hours of not eating anything. Actually, I can do the not eating part. I've done that with my intermittent fasting. But the not drinking anything, like having coffee or even water and all that, that's pretty disciplined. I'd be very curious. If any of you are doing Ramadan, I would actually love to know how you feel, and I'd love to know any weight loss or health aspects or benefits you feel over the course of the 29 days. All right, follow up to yesterday. RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., did announce, who I said, I'm not trying to take credit for that call because I had no idea who this gal was, but Nicole Shanahan as his running mate. He made that announcement. I think it's super weird. I think the optics are terrible. This dude's been like, and again, you guys know I like a lot of the things RFK Jr. said, especially the military industrial complex stuff and, bringing up stuff about his uncle for sure. I love all that. But this lady, this Nicole Shanahan, I mean, first of all, I don't see what value she brings to him. She's an unknown entity, not somebody that I think, really adds credibility. I think she's got a ton of money because she funded the Super Bowl ad that RFK Jr. did. I guess she contributed $4 million to that. So, is she on the ticket just for ATM purposes so they can fund the rest of the campaign? I mean, probably. I don't really see what other value she's contributing to this, Oh man, that was a goofy pick. I don't really think he did himself any favors with a variety of people. And the ones that were starting to maybe be like, you know what, I can't stand Trump and I can't stand Biden. Maybe I'll give RFK Jr. a chance. I think he just lost all those people because they're just like, what? Who? You've been battering billionaires this entire time and saying they're the problem. And then basically, I don't know if she's a billionaire. I'm sure she's probably very well off having been married to Sergey Brin and divorced. So RFK Jr., man, I don't know. Dude is a little squirrely.
Why won't you allow more food trucks to drive through the border crossings into Gaza to feed starving civilians while you continue to take out the terrorists in Hamas?
The problem isn't getting the trucks in. The problem is that once they're getting in, they're looted by Hamas or looted by gangs.
With respect, though, sir, it's not happening.
And the main obstacle to that.
All right, that's the follow-up clip from yesterday that I played, CNN's Dana Bash, where I said she did lay into him a little. I actually went back and listened. I was like, all right, that was really good. Netanyahu's such a liar. This guy is such a liar. Like, oh my God. My feelings for him, I mean, I don't think I ever really had any positive ones, but over the course of this last 5 months, it's just lie after lie after lie. And here's the best one that she catches him in.
It's actually Hamas.
It's not happening. Well, in the north, you said that you've destroyed Hamas. If Hamas isn't in the north, then how is Hamas taking away food?
He just blames everything on Hamas. And then she's like, but they're not in the north. So how are they taking away food in the north? You said you've destroyed them in the north, and now you need to destroy them in the south in Rafah to bring this to an end. So how are they taking away food if they're no longer even in the north?
And if you open up more border crossings and give more food into the area, allow starving people to eat, the looting maybe would subside. That's human nature, no?
Allow starving people to eat. The looting would subside. That's human nature. I honestly, I can't even believe we're having these discussions. I can't even believe the global stage is witnessing these shenanigans. This is insane. This is seriously insane. Anyway, like I said yesterday, actually, I think Ramadan ends April 9th. I might have said April 6th. Anyway, I think it's April 9th. But I do think something major is going to happen in the next 10 days. And the more I think about it, I don't know. But he's going in Rafah. He is going to invade Rafah. He's going to cause absolute destruction and mayhem, and then kind of figure it out from there. I think unfortunately that is definitely happening. The other thing that I did want to say about that is what's been weird about this operation in Rafah is, You just constantly hear on the news, Netanyahu getting ready to approve plans. That wasn't done for the first 5 months. They never sort of telegraphed what they're going to do. So this Rafa thing's been a little weird because it's like they keep printing in the news, Netanyahu getting ready to green light, getting ready to approve, things like that. And that wasn't done when they invaded northern Gaza or then the south and that city, Khan Yunis. Anyway, it continues. But like I said, I do think something major is coming. All right, last thing for today. I'm going to play this clip for you. This is funny because it's a clip of me, but it's RayDAi. He's back, the one and only RayDAi. This actually, the audio doesn't do this justice, but if you are friends with me on social media or on the Deep Shallow Dive social media, you can see the clip. Anyway, there's this software, this AI software called HeyGen, Heygen, and it really is the preeminent software that's being used for these deep fakes, meaning that the way it works is, so I filmed a 2-minute video of myself where basically I filmed myself talking and I would like pause at the end of sentences so my lips would close, and then I wasn't allowed to really make major hand gestures, but I did have to kind of move around a little bit, move my head toward the microphone, away from the microphone, all that. And then after filming that 2-minute clip, I uploaded that clip into their AI software. And then basically what it does is it creates a digital clone of your body, face, mouth, and all that. And I mean, again, it's literally you. And then you can feed it whatever script you want. And when you feed it that script, the AI portion of it basically matches the script to the movement of your lips. So for example, this clip that I'm about to play for you, I mean, it doesn't sound exactly like me, but I also didn't tinker with the pitch and the tone. There's all kinds of settings you can play around with to where I'm sure you can dial it in to sound exactly like you. But what happens is this script, what you're about to hear is, if you were watching it, it looks exact. I mean, it is me. It's from that previous video, but I never said the script that you're about to listen to. So give this a listen.
Whether you are a Democrat or a Republican, I just can't understand how you can agree with everything that your party does or says. If you thought I sounded different in that, that's because this is me, but not really me. So this is my digital clone that I created using AI via HeyGen software. This is how easy it is to create fake videos that could seem real. Whether it was P. Diddy's Homeland Security raid from yesterday or this bridge accident that took place in Baltimore, remember we are in another election year. If you have not gotten a chance yet to listen to the Deep Shallow Dive podcast, we try and talk about all this stuff, but through the lens of common sense. I talk a lot about calling a spade, and seriously, that is all we are trying to do. There is nothing wrong with asking questions and simply trying to better understand things. Anyway, you can listen anywhere you listen to your podcasts and also on YouTube, as well as directly on our website at deepshallowdive.com. Thanks again for the support.
The ending was terrific.
This episode is being brought to you by the upcoming book, Deep Shallow Dive Into You. That's right, Bro wrote a book, and it's coming soon. Stay tuned.